Hello, hello. How's everyone? Thank you for being here again. Here we have another episode, another week here at 3Charts at 3 p.m. My name is Yamil. We have Aaron and Connor. We all work at Data Meaning. How's everyone?
I'm good.
Good.
Doing well.
So, just want to let you know if it's the first time that you're here. Today we're gonna discuss data visualizations related to education. They're very cool visualizations. I mean, a lot of them are from university admissions or things related to education, but they're really cool. A lot of data that when in this specific visualizations. So I think we're gonna learn a lot today. So if you've never been on the show, the idea is for each one of us will bring or have a visualization that the other ones have never seen before, and then we go through three different questions, which are, what do you like? What was your first impression? The second one is kind of like, is there anything that is confusing? And the third one is, what can we do to make them better? And through that, through this collaboration, and this is very informal. We try to learn how to do better data visualizations and also to share new ideas. Wanted to start asking Connor. So tell me, what do you do here at Data Meaning? We wanted to tell people a little bit of what do we do here at Data Meaning. What do you do? What is your
Sure,
position?
Yamil. So primarily, I'm an instructor here at Data Meeting. So I work with data processing, Alteryx, do a lot of training, how to teach clients how to use the Alteryx software. So kind of get them up to speed, taking them from 0 to 100 very quickly in just a matter of weeks. So it's a fun job. Get to see a lot of aha moments when they finally get the idea of the software and really help people put time back in their day as they start automating these manual tasks that they work on.
Awesome. So if you guys don't know, Connor is also a CPA, which is really interesting, right? Someone that knows a lot about accounting, CPA, but is also a data individual. He's very good at Alteryx. I've been with him multiple times doing Alteryx webinars and things like that. And Aaron, tell me, Aaron, what are you working on lately, or what do you do here at Data Meaning?
I do primarily Tableau project work through different clients. I got a couple of projects going on right now. I'm also producing some content. I'm getting up to that Tableau training status so that we can start providing the official Tableau training here. We already have that through a couple of people here at Data Meeting, and that's what I'm working on now is to get that training certification.
Yes, thank you, thank you. So I'm pretty much like Aaron, like created a lot of content, evangelize data visualization here at Data Meaning, and also I'm actually like Aaron. I mean, doing a lot of training to get certified by Tableau to provide training, official Tableau training. So let's start. And I see Joe. It's in the Joe's from BizLib. Great content. They have a BizLib happy hours. So that's another show. Just please follow Joe Warrington. He's in the chat. Thank you for being here, Joe. And let's start. Actually, do you want to start, Aaron? Just show me one or two, and
Sure.
then if you have more, we can show yours later.
Yes,
Just
I've got
start with
plenty.
one or two.
I got plenty. Let me.
Yeah, you have to explain this. Let's start like two, and I have other ones, and we can go there after to Connor, and then I can go last, and if we have more time, you can show other ones.
All right. Can we see?
Okay, tell me what this is.
1 second. Let me turn this off. There we go. Okay. So we chose we choose different subjects every month, or I'm sorry, every week. And tomorrow is World Book Day, so we decided to go with like an education theme. So that's kind of how we got to this topic. My first one here is pretty basic. Here, looking at the state of data education. This is from 2016. So here it's looking at the U.S. News ranking by college. And then looking at the number of analytics programs in each of those colleges. So we're looking kind of like at a scatter plot here.
You want to put it in the chat? Put it in the chat so Joe and other people can follow that one. Put it in the chat if you want to open your other screen. And also, if you want anything that you want to comment, more than happy, please.
What do you guys think?
Awesome. There's a lot of data points. I like that they put together here on the right, at least those that we can call like the outliers or the ones that are way to the right. At least they
These
show you
annotations.
what there is, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, Connor? What was your first impression? Tell me your first impression. Okay, boom. I never seen this before. What do you
Yeah,
think?
no, lots of dots everywhere. Obviously, start looking around for legends here to make sense of what's the color, what's going on, why they clustered the way they're clustered. Looking at the legend, I'm seeing like you got the yellow,
Mm-hmm.
and the yellow really just highlights those dots, if you would, that fall between the 3 and the 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
it almost the x-axis there almost seems redundant, or maybe the legend there is redundant, but I guess it is just kind of keeping those clusters for you. But you can, as
Mm-hmm.
Aaron just did, as you click on those, that takes care of the job itself. If you didn't really need to change the colors, I guess. But it's nice if you need to keep an eye on things. Just a lot going on. Let's see, news ranking. Just kind of had to turn my head sideways there, so it looks at the news ranking information. It's the ones at the top, and so that's the ranking position.
Mm-hmm.
And so as you have more, it looks like more programs, there's really no correlation, right? You can see that with this scatter plot. You just have the dots all over the map. You can have a highly ranked program, and it doesn't have to have 10 analytic programs. It can have 3. You can have 1 or 2, and looks like that's the number one
Winston.
ranked, right? Just has the
Mm.
one program in there. So kind of interesting insights you can get from this, but you do have to do a lot of reading around there. And I do like the comments on the right hand side, right, where
Mm-hmm.
they kind of have these way out there within an insane amount of analytic programs. But I guess you could say, as you have too many, your rankings aren't as good. But it's certainly an overwhelming visualization, I guess, is my initial thoughts on this.
Yeah, I think it's great that they're using a scatter plot, right? Something that sometimes we miss to include or to use. We should. Maybe too many dots in this case, but another thing that could make it easier to understand is maybe put a quadrant. So you put something like this and like this, and maybe you can say, okay, here's this means high ranking, low number of programs or something like that. You can each which one of those boxes you can say something that it will help you read it quickly, but maybe too many dots at this moment,
Yeah,
right?
here we're looking at, you know, this is like, again, this is a chart show, so we're talking about this chart. But for the most part, we like looking at dashboards that have charts contained in them to get a story, so we can understand what's going on. This just being a chart by itself with a couple of annotations doesn't help to tell what the story is here. There's just one just tiny little row of what this is. We have no filters to be able to say, like, where's my school at in this?
Mm-hmm.
You have to search around till you actually find it, and who knows what it is. Again, the colors aren't the best, but again, I think they're specifically trying to call out these 3. And what I did find interesting was this is University of Washington, and up there you've got Tableau, I think, is up there. Microsoft is up there, so that makes sense that they have a number of analytics programs. So I see that's why it's out there. All right, yeah, that's about it for this one. Let me go on to the next one, so we have time for you guys. So here's an interesting one. Kind of difficult to read.
Oh, this one is interesting. Let's put it there in the chat. So you have Joel says the clusters are helpful, right? To cluster that. Yeah, that's something that you should always do with any scatter plot. Try to cluster different things. That will definitely help you. So what is this thing?
So I don't know if I can. Yeah, I can zoom in on it a little bit. So this is the Italian Republic data story, looking at the background fields of education for all the cabinet members from 1946 to 2018.
Wow. Okay.
So it does give you a little bit of like, how do you use this dashboard? Because it's
good.
There is a lot going on here. You get this running area chart here with again, I've not seen one with the countries running down the left hand side.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when I first started looking at this, I looked at it at a different angle. And I thought this was the axis right here, and it's not. This is the axis. This is 0 right here.
Oh, see, that was my first impression too, Aaron. The right hand side where the heads are, or the axis. Yeah.
So
This is good. Just Connor, whatever else do you think? I mean, the first impression, just say it. Whatever you think is great. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I mean, it looks like the ocean a little bit with all these different waves, and maybe not not really sure what to or how to interpret this. So, Aaron, does it become a little bit more digestible as you click and filter for a given category? Is that what these waves are gonna
So I don't know
represent
how
here?
much. I don't know how much interaction it has. Okay, yeah. So you can see. So this is how I realized the axis was down here because I clicked on it and I was expecting it to highlight this section and it didn't. It highlighted the opposite section. So it does give you some interactive ability. It does give you the ability to choose between head of state and prime minister, I think. Yeah. And when you hover on that person, it tells you kind of who they are.
So if you go up, and then you can click on any of those, let's say disciplines, right? Like architecture or maybe education. What do we can call this? Like fields of study or something. Okay. Fields of education. That's what it says there. So almost no sports person have ever.
Well,
There's maybe
recently,
one. They don't want sports people.
Yeah, it must be these categories must be sorted by, the number of or the percentage of, because
Yes, I
laws.
think so. I think so because you can see here it's just the majority here, right?
yeah. And if you scroll down, though, this is an interesting. You see it, law almost
Going down.
declined significantly, and at one point, 2007, 2008, was it law was not the
More
majority?
social science. Yeah, that's interesting.
That is fascinating.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's cool to look at it. It's just a little difficult to read because, like Joe said, makes me want to tilt my monitor to portrait mode. It's too tall, right? It's
Sure.
way too tall. But at
Yeah,
the same time, it's interesting.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out what that gray was, so I had to scroll back to the very top in order to click on it.
You know what I think it could. So, for example, at Connor, something to fix it, to make it better. Not to fix it, to make it better, because no, I mean this is difficult stuff to do. Is maybe if you tilt that to the other side, but then only allow the user to select, let's say, 10 years or 5 years,
Sure.
whatever years
Sure.
they want within all of these years. Then maybe it's easier to read. I don't know. It's just have too many years.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. And well, if you tilt it on your side, you may be able to more easily keep the filters right there in your view, right? So like Aaron just pointed out, you don't have to scroll all the way down and scroll back up to click on the filter you're looking for. No, this is an awesome chart though, Aaron. Certainly
this is how
informative
I
here.
realized the axis was down here. Yeah, it's definitely different.
Definitely something different. What else could you do, Aaron, to, let's say, if you were gonna take this and maybe do it quickly or in an hour or so, what would you do to make it a little bit better?
Well, if you want to highlight something specific, I would call that out and then mute all the other colors so that you can point out. For example, we saw that this it wasn't secondary, it was this gray one. Social sciences came from nothing in the 40s, and it became the most popular in 2014 and 15. So I would try to tell that story, and then even you can see that it's faded ever since.
Gotcha.
So I would try to look towards that.
What does it lean towards in 2017, 2018? Scroll down to the bottom. Again, this issue. Is it back to? No, it's something else.
It's secondary. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, and if you do hover over at a given year, it does show you the percentages, right? I do wonder, like, what type of chart would you say this is, Aaron? Do you know this flow method that they're using?
It's like an area chart.
An area chart. I do wonder if it maybe would be more intuitive to read if it was a bar chart. Obviously, you can't get those slight changes throughout a given year if it is a bar chart as those positions fluctuate. But I think it'd be more intuitive to read if you stack those as bars, kind of a stacked bar chart, if you would.
Yeah.
show you those percentages changing one year after the next. But I see why they chose the area, right? You get those in between years fluctuation, but
Yeah.
that's fascinating.
Do you know what I also think I need? It needs, Aaron. What do you and Connor? What do you think about some high level KPIs? For example, natural science. How many? Like how many of total in each one of them? Because there's no high level KPIs, right?
Sure, we're just seeing the
Like,
percentages, but not the count.
yeah, because we can see that law it's the majority here. With
Sure.
that, when you click on the first one, but the problem is how much is that? I mean, it's hard to tell. You know, I'm wondering if some of them are. It seems to be repeated. You see, G Napolitan or G Napol. What does that mean? Is it they're being there for a long time, huh?
I don't know. I don't really know what this is supposed to indicate, because no matter what I click on, they kind of stay there.
Mm-hmm.
So this person was in for this long. Maybe that's just
If you hover over the name, which position does it show he is?
entrepreneur.
Doesn't say his position.
Yeah.
See, economics.
Head of state, prime minister.
Okay, that switched them out.
Oh.
So it gives you one or the other, but I wonder if this one gives you both.
So you can filter for the years given on a given.
Huh.
Mm.
Yeah, you can't do both. So yeah, so this is the head of state, but I think the rest of the chart is talking about the entire cabinet members.
Okay.
So this guy was a humanities guy, which I think is this kind of, oh, no, maybe not. This one.
Sure, that yellow.
Right.
Yeah. So
Interesting. So it even highlights them.
So he was the head of state in Italy for this portion of time, and his field study was humanities.
Gotcha. Wow. I think seriously, I mean, just making it more focused to a specific story.
Yeah.
I think that will help. And giving some high level KPIs will make it a look so much better.
Okay, let me give you one last one.
Yeah.
This one was fun. Let me zoom back out because I couldn't win.
To put it in the chat there. Wow.
We are doing some target practice here.
Whoa.
So we got a sand key here, but I've not seen a lot of interactive sand keys, so I liked how this one worked.
Okay.
So on the left-hand side, we've got the women and the men, and then these are all the subjects in this column. And it's just repeated from the UK, the EU excluding UK, and non-EU.
Okay.
So when I hover on women, it tells me what percentage are in that subject. But when I do the opposite, it goes back to the left. It doesn't just go one way. It goes both ways.
I like that. And
now it'd be nice if when I hovered here, it told me what subject this is, but you can see at the very top it says biological sciences.
Okay.
So it does highlight, and it also highlights these circles, which I have not been able to comprehend what I'm looking at unless it's like, this is 4.3%. So in that big circle for the UK, it's 103,000 of the 2 million plus. So
it could be because we see what it says 2.2086x10. Well, no, it's still the same, right? Did that change that number? The 2.086.610?
No.
It doesn't change. Okay.
So you talked about in the last one, you didn't know the number of people. You just got a percentage. And here it gives you that percentage and the number of how many there are. And as I go down, you can see that it's going inside that circle at the top is going smaller and smaller because it's a smaller percentage of the total circle.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this circle in the middle means, to be honest. That's the...
But here you can see like business and admin studies in the UK is 10.4%. Now, I don't see it broken out by male and female. I see the
Mhm.
line going over, but it doesn't really tell me what that percentage is.
Mhm.
But you can see as we go to the right, in the EU, that in that subject, it's 15.9, and in the non-EU, it's 18.5. So for some reason, it's
Mhm.
8% higher in the non-EU compared to the UK. So
Okay.
what I like is that
Yeah.
when you hover on a subject, it
Mhm.
changes the filter for all three of these sheets.
That is nice. You
Yeah.
can easily
So
compare and contrast.
my first impression, I want to tell you something. When I look at these arrows that were here on the left, I got a little confused thinking that I click on the arrow takes me somewhere else. I don't know, something like that. And also, but I do understand that that is for explaining how how those to use this or what this means, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So if you wanted
Go ahead.
to understand like how to use it, because it is very unique. It's a very different way to look at this data.
Mhm.
You need some explanation. So at least he gave that in a decent way so that people can understand. If you didn't know what you were looking at, if you took the time, you could read on how you're supposed to use this.
Yeah, I love the instructions on the side, right? They say hover over these, you'll see more information. Fanny
Mhm.
circles, right? Don't hover over them, don't bother. You're not going to get any data from it.
Oh, look at
But
that.
then at the bottom it says to hover over the section like you were doing.
Yeah, and I did not see last time I looked at this. When I hover on this, I knew it did the bottom, but I didn't know it had that tooltip in it.
The tooltip. I was going to tell you about the tooltip.
That gives
Yeah.
you that male to female trend.
I like that.
Now is that male or female trend the sum then of all three Fanny
Seems like.
circles?
Yeah. Well, I would
Yeah.
guess because the males here is the 32,250 and the females 39,990. So if you add
It
those
has to
together,
be the sum
that's
of all those three, yeah.
yeah.
If
Oh,
anybody from the chat wants to say anything or comment, let us know what you think about this one or anything to make it better. I'm trying to feel. I'm trying to think if the Sankeys on underneath helps in any way, right?
necessary. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure.
So
I'm not sure.
the way I could see it being useful is
Mhm.
how does my field of study differ in different regions?
Okay.
So for the business and admins, like it's 18.5 here and it's 10.4 in the UK. So you can see over the three different
Got it.
regions, where that lies.
That's true. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm still don't understand the circle. What do I really need the circle, or do I just need the number?
The circle is very much like a pie chart, where
Hmm.
it's just showing you the percent of the whole circle, which is not. I mean, it's neat in a way, but functionally does not is not real helpful.
There's
I almost
yeah.
think a
Get
pie chart would be
Erica's
better.
comment. Put it in the chat. I'm sorry, in the top of the screen. Erica's comment. See what she said. She had a very good comment.
I don't,
See if you can-
yeah, I don't see it yet.
Now, Aaron, I'm
Oh, you don't
looking
see
at
it?
the crossover between the male and the female, and I see the lines and the thickness, I guess, of those lines. But I'm just wondering how useful really is that information? Can you actually hover and see that as 43% of the males cross over to a particular subject? Does it actually show you if you hover over the line? Does it show you what percent of males are going to that particular subject? Does that make sense? So yeah, 4.8. Okay. So it does break it down for you once you've clicked on it that way.
Yeah, like this engineering in the UK is only 4.8%, but it's 10.3 in the non-EU countries.
That's interesting. I feel like there's a better way to structure without the lines crossing over the way they do, because the crossover to me almost suggests there's some interacting of the data, but there is no interacting overlapping of the data. It's just you needed to go from point A and point B, and they just happen to cross. So I wonder if there's a different chart way of displaying this information.
Yeah. So we have Eric. I'm going to read you or I don't know. I put it in the private chat. Maybe you can grab it from there.
Yeah, go ahead.
But she's saying, is the circle representing the max percentage amount? She said, through circles aren't the clearest. I think the circles fill the percentage and display the number. Display the number could be more transparent. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. It's these circles are not. Well, actually, there is something here. It says fancy circles. What does it say there, Aaron? In the second
Yeah,
the
Yeah, it
second
says
instruction,
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it is.
It says fancy circles. Subjects represented
Oh,
as
fancy.
concentrated circles, where the size of the circle equals the total number of applicants. Don't bother hovering over them, which I just tried to do it. It didn't work. So.
sure, but like Erica said, right, the circle represents the full percentage of applicants to that given category we're filtered on, and then when you actually click on the category, it shows you the amount of applicants and the number of applicants relative to the whole of, in this case for the UK, 2 million.
Hmm.
All right, guys, that's enough of this one. Let's see what you got.
So, Connor, show me what do you got. Erica, thank you for being here. Erica always have great comments and great help and very
Let's
good
see.
examples. She also have great samples in her channel online. So check her out on LinkedIn, Erica Clemens. She's also part of the Tableau user group here in Orlando. Thank you.
Here, bear with me a second while I pull that up.
All right, I'll add that to LinkedIn so people's got it.
Yeah, you have that one, right, to add to the to the chat.
All right, so mine's actually coming from a textbook. We're all
Very nice. Can you share?
Yep. Let me share my screen here.
Oh, we like textbooks, and then that's in the chat. You can anybody, you can check his visualization for today.
So it's related to the parity here of genders and education and the different.
So tell me where you got it first. Tell me a little bit of where you found it.
So it's from the summary of education here. Let me see if I don't lose my page. Just a summary report of accountability and education. It's from 2015. It does compare and contrast data from 2015, 2010, I believe. I think it's right here. Yeah, so 2015 and 2000, the year 2000. So it's a little dated, but I just thought the chart was interesting because at first, and to be honest here, I'm still not sure how to read it. So I want to get your thoughts, different ways of how you can improve a chart like this, and maybe what you guys see here.
No, this is a great idea. I mean, that's what we want to do here. Aaron is agreeing with you 100%. I mean, sometimes it's okay. What is your first impression? How can we make it better? That's why we're here, and I'm pretty sure that Erica's gonna give us. She maybe likes to use this on her LinkedIn page. I mean, she brings in things like this, and she asked everybody over there, online, like, hey, how can we make it better? She sometimes provides some read-ons or some suggestions. So this is a very good one. So let's look at the title. Countries are increasingly achieving gender parity, but the challenge remains, especially at higher educational levels. Okay. I'm trying to see. Okay, this. So they're comparing 2 years. So one bar is 1 year, the other bar is another year, but the problem is the same color.
Yeah,
I will make it a different color.
My first thought was a slope chart from 2000 to 2015, but the axis I don't quite understand that because you're going positive and negative.
That's the part that confused me the most, and that's why I figured I'd bring it here, get your expert opinions. That's exactly the question, and more importantly, if I'm looking up at the top, right, it says there's still an issue in higher education. I was thinking that this here is that higher education section. We can see there's no parity, but I was actually really surprised to see this here. It looks like you have fewer boys for every 100 girls, so fewer than 80 boys for every 100 girls. And it almost seems like the gender disparity is leaning more towards more females going to college than males, right? And again, I'm not sure how to read this chart, so that could be kind of flipped the opposite way. This could be saying something totally different, but without some clarity on this axis, I really can't tell you what it's supposed to be saying or not.
Yeah, Connor, I looked at, I have it pulled up here, and I was curious of what again, I'm trying to understand this, and it's the percentage of countries by level of gender parity index of the gross enrollment ratio. So they're explaining things that we don't understand. What is
Sure.
the gender parity index? What is the gross enrollment ratio? One, enrollment is spelled incorrectly. They're missing an L. So, but I did a search for that, and it's only mentioned one other place in this PDF, and it says since 2000, the gross enrollment ratio has risen by almost 30 percentage points in upper middle income countries, from 17% to 46%. That statement should be somewhere near this graph. It's 3 pages away. You're never going to make that connection.
Sure.
Yeah, tell me something. If that's supposed to be negative numbers, should have the negative signs, or I don't know.
Well, yeah, and my thoughts were, I imagine each of these bars should add up to 100%. But why place them straddling that middle axis there? And if you look on the left side here, you don't actually see minus signs. So
Exactly, minus. That's what I
but
was
you and I did the same thing. We assumed, well, below 0 should be minus. Perhaps that's not what they're doing with this bar chart and with this chart here, but there's really no way of clarifying. So again, to Aaron's point, without understanding some of these terms, it's hard to really understand the full chart. But can see there's certainly room for improvement on this one here.
Yeah, Erica I think it is trying to be a liker with each bar. Oh, great. Thank you, Aaron. So like it with each bar, the same 100% size and centering on neutral. Okay, so like her. This is like from survey data, right? Like specific survey visualizations. We're gonna have to send this one to Steve Wexler to know what he thinks. But wow. So let me see. What is this? Countries. Okay, so those are the countries, right? That's the country.
I can't even tell if this is survey data or not.
No. Party when they challenge higher education levels. I think it could be survey. Well, maybe it's not survey data, but trying to fewer than 80. Well, as you see, it says fewer than 80, so it's talking about fewer, right? So that's last one. It tells you that probably this is I imagine it's a negative number. That have to be. So how can we make it better? Definitely, like Aaron said, I mean, this could have slope charts. I don't know, we'll just make a difference between each year, 2000 or 2015.
Yeah, if this was just a percentage of the column, percentage of the total, an easy slope chart would be suffice.
Yeah, and you could do like 5 slope charts, like one, separate them. You don't have to put them all together like this, and you can still use it. And it should be very nice and neat. I mean, I think it will work great to do that. I'm trying to see if I can find something here. What else would you do to make it nice or to change it?
It's hard to have feedback on something you just don't understand.
No, I think to your point, right? Put some defining terms closer in the textbook to this particular chart, or at least include them in the textbook here, and kind of explain it a little bit more. Perhaps if we understand it the way this is kind of explaining things, you may want to move the axis down and just put it as 0 to 100 instead of having this kind of straddle. But to Erica's point, maybe the type of enrollment ratio they're displaying here is best served on split in the axis like that, but we'd have to understand it a little bit better to really determine how to improve it. I brought a tough chart today.
No, that still is a good one. You know, like
Yamil, you might like this. Connor, can you scroll down a couple pages?
Sure.
Keep going.
Which page am I going to?
Keep going in, keep going right there. Check that out. So that's like one of those comment charts, Yamil.
It's just I like it. I just flip it. I mean, it's just the way. I don't understand what is the reason what keep doing this type of hard to read charts. I have a good example about that actually, which will work, right?
You want to show yours?
Yeah.
All right, I'll stop sharing mine.
Okay. So let's see. Let's see. Make sure real quick.
It was a good one, Connor. Thanks.
Yeah, of course.
So, no. Make sure did you see me? Okay. So one of the things, Connor, you can do with yours is something like this. I think if you separate one of each, right? 1, 2, 3, and you do this type of charts, which are slope charts. I think you can still make it better, right? Make it so much better. So look, let me give you an example. So imagine that each one is instead of July or December is each year, and then you do this, and you can see very easily, how it goes from one to the other. But then you're gonna have to separate it. You have to go to another one and another one.
So you're saying comparing the year 2000 to 2015. That makes sense.
Yeah, and then make these lines, and you will see one goes all the way up, all the way down, like this. And I think that will work. That will work great.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you this visualization first. This is education inequality. It's kind of like a top 10 versus bottom 10 countries by measure. This was very interesting visualization, and what I like is that you can select different measures here. So for example, I have now adjusted net enrollment rate, and I can select average years of total schooling, or I can do like government expenditure on education. And let me show you what happened. If I click on one of those, it's going to change this measure. It's going to change that, and it's going to look different. And this is pretty much the visualization. I have something that I'm going to tell you. Probably you guys are going to notice too that I don't like, but everything else not that bad, right? For example, if I click on government expenditure, I'm going to click on that one. It will change the visualization. Now the top 10 will be different. The bottom 10 will be different. And okay, great. Thanks, Aaron, for putting it in the chat.
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you think? What do you think?
For me, I like it that this separates to two colors, the top 10 and the bottom 10. What I don't like is there's a couple of things. One is the red orange colors in your face, and there's a lot of head turning on this one.
Exactly what my first impression was good, but no, because of this piece.
I just noticed for the top 10 countries you go one way, and for the bottom 10 countries you go the other way.
I was going to say that you really do have to tilt your head twice.
Yes. I don't know if it could be possible, but I wish that all of this could be going, instead of going down, going like this. So pretty much like going, I don't know, think about, I don't know if I can do it with this. Like maybe if they were going like this, I don't know, like this way, right? Like this.
Yeah, horizontal.
Like it's hard to do. It's hard to do this view with the map because it does make sense to like put it underneath it, but then it makes it very difficult to read. But I did find it interesting, Yamil, if you like click on one of the countries.
Let's see.
It says click to highlight it in the dashboard, and then follow it down because it keeps going to that next graph too. Like it's
nice.
Point in those scatter plots.
Well, that's awesome.
That's awesome. So when it says for expenditures top countries, it's listing the countries that spend the most. Is that what we're seeing in this chart?
Yeah. Say that again, Karen. Say that again.
So when we're filtering for expenditures and we see the top countries, that's the countries that spend the most on education.
Yes.
Currently.
Yes.
Okay. The blue ones. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the ones that spend the least are the red on the right.
Yeah. So let's look at the literacy rate. Let's see. Okay. Let me tell you what I like first. My first thing that I like, Connor. I like that it was not everything on your head and, oh, and everything here. Boom. Because think about it. Everybody will do what they will do. They will put all of these measures, right? All of those measures there. What will they do? They will take all of this and they will give it to you right away, right? Like that's what most people do. I do that sometimes.
Yep.
Okay, I have all these measures. I'm gonna put it all of them in the dashboard. Here is one at a time. One at a time. You click one, you click the other one. It's not all of them. That I like. The other thing was that this was cool, right? That you can see all moving here. But I think that if you can do this curve like this, then you could probably have this going this way, right? It doesn't have to go down. It can go like in any specific like vertical like this. You know, like it. I don't know. It just seems to me difficult to read. I mean, very difficult actually to read that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Erica had mentioned that you could put like the top 10 above the map and the bottom 10 below the map, but horizontally.
that would be really nice, Erica. That's a great idea. It's a really good idea. Actually, that would be awesome. Going this, having this blue ones going up and the other ones going down. Hmm. That's a really good idea. And but definitely when we click on one of this, let me see. I'm gonna click on this one. Let's see what happens. And now, boom, we can see that. So tell me what's your first impression of this one, the bottom part, Aaron? What do you think?
Well, it has the reverse interaction with it. At the top, we clicked on a country. Here, you can click on a dot, and it'll do the reverse, and it'll go up and highlight the country above it.
Okay, let's do that.
So I was playing around with it, and I'm looking like, what is this one dot all by itself? It's South Sudan. So I clicked on that, and then it highlighted it in all those scatter plots, and it took me up to where it's located.
Ooh, let's do this, guys. Ukraine. This is the one. Oh yeah, look at that.
You can immediately see it's in the top 10.
Mm-hmm. Ukraine.
And then where it's
Oh
at.
man, we're gonna be in the news today. Look at that. Ukraine. And then what happened here? This is great. Adjusted net enrollment rate, 92%. Literacy rate, 100%. Government expenditure on education, that's not too good, right? That's pretty low. Oh, and look at that. They rank 44 out of 188 countries. I love this. Very good information.
So
This is teacher ratio. What else? Tell me.
I was going to ask, can we compare two categories? Can you look at expenditures and literacy next to each other?
So click another one here.
Yeah, can you click on two categories at once? I'm not sure there'd be space to display it all. So I think that's the kind of the one ask I'd have.
So I click control on my PC, but I don't think it will allow me.
I don't think it lets us. But I'd be interested to look at these categories side by side and see kind of what countries have a high literacy rate versus the countries that are currently spending a lot versus those that do not have to spend much.
This is great. Okay.
It's an awesome chart, Yamil.
You know what I also like? That is only focusing on 10 at a time, Aaron. Because there's so many countries, right? But it's only 10 and 10. That's it. Easier to read. Instead of having
some of these dashboards, you can try to fill it up with way too much. I want to get everything on one page, or I want 1,000 filters. But that just gets cluttered up in the noise of what the story you're trying to tell is. So keeping it simpler. To your example, Yamil, you have 6 measures to select. You can only select one at a time. Concentrate. Don't get distracted by all the noise. Like concentrate on something and you can follow through with it.
The only thing that I will add, Connor, is let me select my country. If I'm from the UK, I'm from the US. Because when I was looking at it at the beginning, I was trying to find Ukraine, right? And we found it, but what I mean is, it would be nice to let you found your country. I think it would be more helpful.
Well, everyone wants to know how their country stacks up.
Yeah,
Yeah, if for example, Yamil, we're only looking at the top 10 and the bottom 10.
Mm-hmm.
If your country is not in either of those groups, you're not going to be displayed here.
Yeah.
But it would be good if there was a way to like you could put in your country and see where you fall within the top and bottom.
Yeah, the top and bottom, yeah. Because it's, there are 188 countries for what I can see, they're definitely in this data. Well, it seems to be 188, most of them. Let me see, 188, 186, 144, 144. Okay. Still, it's really cool. Look, this is a UK, so 99.6. Nothing here. Not sure why. Probably they don't have the data. 5.5. 15, 64 out of 186. 114. And 8. Average years of total schooling. 15 plus years. Rank 8. Wow. Yeah. I'm wondering, this is so when I was looking at this the first time. Let me take this out. I was a little confused with the charts below because I was just thinking, okay, so is this because it's under? This is like negative, right? Or this? I don't know.
Yeah, I was just looking at that too. There's all of them have dots
What
that
is-
are underneath that line.
So what do you think that is? But it's just have this adjusted.
You think it's the
Average.
average? You think it's the average?
Hmm.
They all seem to be like right in the middle of the horizontal here, not necessarily the axis, the y-axis.
Yeah, it's probably not the axis. This is like a reference line, maybe. This one going like this, like going vertical. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. This is a little confusing. That line, and then when I hover, I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is. Cool. I like this one. So I'm going to show you one more. Hopefully it's still here. Let's see where it's at. Oh, that's not there. It's this one. So this one is one that it's actually really good. Now we're going to go to territory of good dashboards, I think. Like, I like it a lot, but I'm not going to say too much. And this is it. Look, it fit in one page. I don't have to scroll or do anything. That's it. But it's still, there's things that can be done better. Tell me what's your first impression. Let me make it a little bit larger so you can see right there. Yeah, pretty much that's what it is.
So I'm looking at just the admissions scorecard title, and you've got the 4,069 students admitted this year, and you got the 4 colors there as well. So I'm guessing the blue percent of goal. So the blue is overall admissions. Yellow is out of state.
Out of state. Red is person of color, POC. That's the red.
Okay, so that bar doesn't have any value. It's just like
this bar, no.
Okay, got it. I was expecting to do something with that, and I got confused.
You are right. And that's the thing that I was thinking too, is this bar here doesn't have any value, right? It's just there, but it doesn't. You cannot click this. You cannot do anything with it. It's just doesn't have any value. I think the colors, honestly, I don't need red or green here. That doesn't mean anything. I mean, not mad, okay, but it's just not. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I mean the yellow there is not met as well, right?
There's 2 of them.
Yep.
There's 2 Mets too.
Yeah.
I did. So my first thought, again, you start in the upper left-hand corner and you work your way right. But my first thing I was drawn to was that in the upper right-hand, it says ShowHide Labels. I didn't know what that was for. So I'm clicking around. I'm like, I don't see anything changing.
Oh yeah, you will be. You will.
So it does, but this filter or this hide or show labels is only for the bottom half of this dashboard. So having it in the top right corner makes me assume that it applies to everything below it.
You are right. Oh, let me see. I think when I did that, it got crazy. Okay. So that it just do this one's on the bottom.
Yeah.
That's all. So you are right. I mean, if it was me, I would put it right here, somewhere right here. So because it's just way too far, right? And hide labels, boom.
I got stuck on the overview portion. I see the 2.8% versus 2019.
Mhm.
And I see it's going up, but I really have no idea what went up. Like it increased by 2.8%.
Yeah.
What's the
So you
2.8% related to?
so you can see here from 39858 to 4069. I think that's the 2% right there.
So increased admissions, overall admissions increased, out of state increased significantly. Okay, no, that's helpful.
Now,
Here's another thing that confused me is if we look at the gender column,
hmm
again, we stay in that overview section.
hmm
It's saying gender is up 3.8%.
uh-huh.
What does that mean? What
hmm
do you mean gender is up 3.8%? You look at the next one in the goals, it says it's 102% to goal for gender. Well, I'm still confused until you get down to the college detail. And now it says number of women by college. So now I go back up. Okay, they were 102% over their goal for women. They were up
For women.
3% for women. But
Yeah, here it needs to say women.
it took me a while. It needs to be in that title in the very first overview box.
Okay. Let me tell you what got me crazy. It was this part here. This part right here. Let me tell you why. When I was looking at this, I was trying to understand what this means. Okay, I understand this is 178 admitted students on out of states by college. So arts and science, 178. What is this 637? So this is really the difference. So for example, in reality, 178 plus 637 equals this here, 815. That's what
Okay,
it means.
So
yeah.
But it was
is that
hard for me to
darker?
understand. Huh?
Is that darker color those that are from out of state,
Yes.
and then the rest are everybody that's in state?
Exactly.
Which seems inconsistent because it's on the left-hand side, whereas the admission by college is on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
I'd almost want to flip those bars.
Yes. And the thing is, exactly this. I mean, honestly, I will not even put this here, I think. I will put it on the tooltip,
Sure.
right? And like in the tooltip, don't put this. I mean, I think I don't know, I will just maybe eliminate the I don't know, just eliminate that. I mean, I don't know why we need
That
maybe
reverse
take this
access.
out, maybe take this out, this out, and then just put this one here on the other side, and then put that difference in the tooltip. I don't know.
No, I agree.
Because I think when I was trying to make the math, it was kind of like this confuses me. I don't know this one here, and it's just no way to tell because it doesn't tell you or explain you here. It doesn't even explain you in the how what does it means. That was the biggest part, right? It doesn't tell you. I think here you see click on a college to highlight information about KPIs. I tried to do that, but it didn't do anything. I think there's no turn on because like when I click here, I thought that this will change this on top.
Yeah,
but it didn't.
it should.
It should. Yes. So this, I don't know.
It would also be helpful if you didn't have to. You talk about putting things in the tooltip. That 178 for arts and science, that it said in the tooltip number of out of state, and then when you hovered on the other bar that's not out of state, that says in state.
Exactly.
So even if you couldn't understand by what's written here, if you had it in the tooltip, then you would get to that fact a little quicker.
Correct. I had to take my calculator, Connor, and sum this with this. to make sure it was getting this.
I'll give you another reason to pull your calculator out, and we can't even see this data here. If you click on the persons of colors for, I don't know, arts and science, for example, click on that bar. So
On this,
in
on
that
this
column,
part.
click on that bar there. I would expect if you clicked on there that you'd see the numbers decrease in the gender column, where you'd actually see the number of women, but only those who are of color,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I,
So,
it'd be nice
what
to
you're
have,
saying
but
is,
obviously not going to see
yeah,
that here today.
this should be a filter of everything.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
true. There are no filters here. There should be one for that. There should be one for out of state. There should be one for women.
Mhm.
Yeah, great point.
So I did like that it was clean and not confusing in regards to some of the things that they selected, but then it was, it got confused. It got confused, and I mean, I think I do like to separate this, like overview, goals, college detail, easy to understand. They're trying to separate one of the other ones. I like the title, but I don't understand what this means. I mean, it's nice that it have the total 4,000, blah blah blah, but then the colors don't mean anything. But
I
I mean,
like
there's
that little help icon that you had down there that says if you clicked on a college, it'd give you more detail. That's good to have that right there because it's specific to that section. So I like that. It doesn't work, but if it did, then that would be something that they did well.
Yeah. What you could have done is you to add that in here, one, and maybe one more here or here, and then you have two or three to help anyone guide them through the dashboard. But yeah, but it's still yeah, one page is great.
One page and a
I-
lot of information. I think they did a good
yeah,
job squeezing it all in there, and not in an overwhelming way, right? Very organized right off the bat.
yeah. In here, I'm not sure if you need this line here because there's two one. I mean, you could not even this you need. I think.
That is a thick reference line.
Yeah. So you probably don't need that here, right? Like this one, that little one there or there. You don't need that. Make it easier so people don't get confused. One of the things that I found interesting was that I don't think that other people do this, Aaron. Tell me if I'm wrong. They put the percentage here inside because usually they put that in the tooltip or so. You know what I mean? Like they put the
Or
percentage
at the far right of that bar.
with the bar. Yes.
Because when you're looking at the percentage of goal to met for that first blue one,
Mhm.
you have to, you look at the number, then you look at the line, reference line, and then you see how far over that line you were. So you might have to glance back and forth because it's not there at the end where you're looking.
Mhm. So yeah, because this means you're 16% higher than this line, and this is like you're 9% lower than the reference line. That this is your goal. The black bar here is your goal. So
Yamil and I, you and I have done these types of graphs before, where instead of having they have four colors for no real reason, but instead make them all gray. But if they reach the goal, turn that a different color, so your eyes are immediately pulled to like, hey, that one beat goal, and that one beat goal.
Correct, because that means that you don't need this.
Yeah,
you don't need to know this all the time. You don't need that. Because this is this you will know because it will just turn if you pass your goal blue, if you don't pass your goal red, for example, or that color, and you're done. So you don't need to do all these colors. But I don't know. I found that interesting.
It was good. No, that's a good one.
Yeah, good. Oh, we're done. We're done again. Oh, thank you.
Whole hour. Yeah.
This is 4 o'clock. Anyway, I just wanted to say, everyone, thank you so much, Connor. I mean, you're invited every day, every week if you want to be with us here at any topic. Aaron's gonna put in the chat if you want to participate. Anyone that is watching any of new topics that we have, we still have great topics coming up. We have the Star Wars, May the 4th be with you. We have many other different topics, mysteries. We have St. Patrick's Day. That's good. That's going to be a good one. We have great
Yeah.
people for that one.
And next week,
And
next week is Data Plus Women, because on March 8th, it's the UN International Women's Day.
exactly. So we're always trying to do something that is related to that week or the upcoming week. We have it doesn't matter what it is. When we had a St. Valentine's or we had Christmas, we have the taco. It was like National Taco Day and National Pizza Day and things like that. We always, trying to make it fun. You can participate with us. It's a lot of fun, and anybody that you're also invited. You don't have to be a data expert or data visualization expert to participate. And also, we wanted to say thank you to our company Data Meaning for allowing us, Data Meaning right here, for allowing us to do that, to do this. And they're the sponsor of this show. We're a BI end-to-end business intelligence consultant, and anything that you need in regards to training or implementation of any BI tool like Snowflake, Tableau, Alteryx, anything Microsoft, of course, we can help you. From servers to just creating data visualizations, we're here to help you. So let us know. Thank you. And we also have Aaron put there some data meaning jobs. Thank you, Aaron, for that. So we're always looking for great Alteryx developers specifically. We're always looking for them. So if anybody knows anyone that wanted to change jobs, we're a great company to join. Let us know. Thank you so much. And up to next week. Thank you so much, Connor, and hope to see you. Have a good
Thanks,
week.
Aaron.
Yeah,
Cheers.
thank you. Have a good week, a good weekend, everyone. And up to next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
See ya.